Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here with a brand new thoughts video for all of you guys, and, well, if you actually tuned into, of course, the last thoughts video that I did right around over an hour ago for sure, first of all, let me say right now, thank you so much for tuning into that. I always do love when I actually post a pretty much more than one thoughts video on the exact same day for sure, and, well, I'm giving you guys exactly what I promised, of course, the last thoughts video for sure, and yeah, I guess that's pretty much my little treat for, of course, this Easter for sure, so yeah, 2 videos for the price of 1 right around this Easter Sunday. Sure, it's worth it, so yeah, I think that's what I can say, of course, that front for sure, and, well, I guess ever since I actually did pretty much on my thoughts video earlier today, of course, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, I decided to follow that up with, of course, another movie that I actually got the chance to see earlier today as part of my double feature that I did not too long ago. Once again, all thanks to the kind people at Crown City Cinemas, as always. So yeah, I can't get enough of that place for sure ever since the rebranding back in late 2020 for sure. That actually makes it all the more worth it for sure. So, although I do think it would have been quite interesting if I would have put together a video for them doing like a little pre-show announcement video like in back in the old days. You know, like, where they actually tell you, be quiet during the movie, silence your cell phone, and of course all that other stuff. I wish we would have gone back to those days for sure, but then again, that's just my wishful thinking for sure. It may or may not happen, but we'll have to wait and see, but I'm getting way off topic. Time to talk about this latest movie for sure, so yeah. I guess as a little follow-up to when I talked about Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, I've decided to follow that up with, of course, another movie that I finally got the chance to go see for sure, and, well, looks like, if anything, we're now diving into, of course, the latest film that had finally came out not too long ago for sure, and, well, I guess given to the last film where, of course, it will be about, you know, busting ghosts for sure. I guess for today's movie, how about we get ourselves in for round 2 of course, a giant kaiju with a giant gorilla. But instead of having them fight each other like in the last film, why not have them team up? Yeah, I guess you can definitely see where I'm going at for sure, and, well, I mean, it's probably not a big surprise on that front. I mean, the title's right down there. But yeah, I think I might as well come right into the main chase for sure. So yeah, following up to, of course, when I talked about Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, I think it's about time that we shift our way to, of course, a couple of course, movies about giant titan monsters for sure. As, of course, we pretty much make our way to, of course, the latest movie that I finally got the chance to see that had just came out not too long ago, which is none other than Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. Or is it Godzilla and Kong, or Godzilla Kong? Yeah, it's all the more confusing, but nevertheless, Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire is, of course, what we're talking about here today, and yeah, that's what I can say, of course, that for is, of course, the latest film that had just came out, and, of course, is the latest installment in, of course, the Monsterverse, centering around 2 of the biggest movie monsters that we all know and recognize, those being Godzilla and King Kong, So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Okay, done with that. Alright, so yeah, before I could go ahead and talk about this latest movie, I think it makes sense to actually talk about both, well, Godzilla and King Kong for sure, and yeah, what can I say about those two that a lot of people haven't already for sure? I guess it's no big surprise that for starters, King Kong has actually been one of the most recognizable movie monsters of all time ever since the dawn of cinema for sure, with countless different interpretations for sure. You heard right, a movie about a giant gorilla actually made a massive impact ever since the dawn of cinema. That's, of course, why I can't say, of course, that front for sure, so yeah, a lot can be said about King Kong in a nutshell, and like I said, there are different interpretations for sure, but of course, he is, of course, one of the most recognizable for sure, while, of course, for the case of Godzilla, yeah, I guess, if anything, he too actually had a whole lot of recognition ever since his debut, pretty much all the way back years and years ago when his movie came out in Japan for sure. And even to this day is still recognizable here today for sure, not just in Japan, but everywhere else throughout the entire globe for sure, so yeah, I think that's what I can say, of course, that front for sure, and surprisingly enough, I did have my fair share with, of course, pretty much those two for sure, both in and out of course, the current Monsterverse that both Legendary Pictures and Warner Brothers have actually been playing out for sure. I mean, come on, Warner Brothers, you're actually giving us some good movies, like, of course, yeah, like, of course, Barbie, Wonka, and all the other good movies that you've actually gained, but not Coyote versus Ackley? Seriously, what's going on, Warner Brothers? I need to really get into your studio just to see what the hell is going on and how I'm willing to fix all this for sure. You're in desperate need of some massive help, Warner Brothers. Don't deny it, so. But yeah, nevertheless, for sure, I guess it's safe to say that for while it is a little limited, of course, on my part, for sure, I do have my fair share of connections of course, Godzilla and King Kong, for sure, both in and out of course, the Monsterverse, for sure, and, yeah, like, of course, pretty much, I know that there are several different interpretations of King Kong that I know I haven't really delved into, but I know that there are some pretty good ones from what I could gather, even the original from back in the day, and let's not forget to mention, I did have my fair share with, of course, pretty much a good chunk of the Godzilla movies on my part, for sure. Hell, I dare even say that pretty much I did talk about Godzilla -1, and that too I still think is a brilliantly well done movie for sure, and definitely my all-time favorite from 2023, so yeah. And let's not forget to mention, with, of course, those two, yeah, I made no secret that pretty much well over 3 years ago, I did talk about Godzilla vs. Kong, yeah, which I actually really did like for sure, and I definitely do think it's actually a pretty good movie from what I can gather for sure, so yeah, that's, of course, what I can say, of course, that front for sure, so yeah, when I actually first saw the trailers for, of course, this movie, I actually got myself really excited just to see how it's gonna go down for sure. Well, I mean, I guess with, of course, the last film that we got is, of course, both Godzilla and King Kong fighting each other for sure. This one actually decided to go for a different route for sure, and instead have both Godzilla and King Kong team up with each other for sure, to which I'm actually all for entirely, and I think there's a lot of strong possibilities to that idea for sure that actually can make it work for sure. So luckily enough, I guess since after seeing Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, I did manage to get myself settled into, of course, see this movie. But a bit of a true story this time. Not only was one of the pretty much one of the staff members at Crown City Cinemas that I was at was lucky enough to join me for, of course, this one, which I'm actually really quite thrilled for. I'm really glad that actually happened. So thanks so much for that. But believe it or not, they were also kind enough to give me a nice little plastic tray of a really nice pretzel that they actually offered to me. And I'm not gonna lie, that was really nice of them to do that. And yeah, that pretzel I had, boy, it was delicious for sure. So, but yeah, nevertheless, I did manage to get myself into seeing, since after seeing Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and well, I guess it's after I got out of course, seeing it not too long ago. A lot of you guys may be wondering, what do I think of this one now that I got the chance to see it? Well, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I guess it's kind of similar to what I thought of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. I actually thought this movie was pretty decent. Yeah, I'm completely serious. I thought this movie was pretty decent from what I could gather. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's not really that great to, of course, the last film that we actually got, but it's not terrible either for sure. But yeah, I guess there's no doubt in my mind that I did find myself having a really good time actually seeing this one for sure, so yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alright, so yeah, now that I've actually got the short version out of the way, I guess I'll go ahead and talk about everything that I need to talk about for sure. For starters is, of course, the story, and again, I really do think the story in this movie actually does have a lot of strong possibilities for sure. Just the idea of course, having Godzilla and King Kong team up with each other to take down a massive threat for sure. I definitely do think there's a lot of strong possibilities that you can actually do, and thankfully enough, I do think this movie actually worked quite well for sure to really make the story in this movie actually work for sure, and I really do follow through, of course, almost everything that actually goes on for sure. And I did say almost everything, as pretty much some parts of this actually almost kind of left me a little bored from what I can gather for sure. But it actually does provide a lot of really good stuff that I really got a really good eye on for sure, to really make it all the more presentable for sure. And I really like what they've actually accomplished to actually make this work for sure. So yeah, that's what I can say for, of course, the story and, of course, this film for sure. Now, for the writing, I have to say, as another aspect, well, I guess if anything, I do think the writing in this film is actually done fine from what I can gather for sure. There are some parts of it that I just felt actually kind of missed the mark from what I can gather, but a few good chunks from what I can gather actually work quite well for sure, and I really do admire, of course, the hard-working effort they did to actually make this work for sure. Like I said, not all of it actually hits the bullseye perfectly for sure, but I really do like some of the nice and creative ideas they did to actually make this movie stand out quite well for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say. Of course, that front for sure for both the story and the writing for, of course, this one for sure. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say. Of course, that front. Alright. Alright, so yeah, now that I've got those two out of the way, I think I might as well go ahead and talk about the next couple of things that I need to talk about, which for starters is, of course, the characters, and well, I guess if there's one thing that we actually know to expect for sure when it comes to a monster movie, let alone either a King Kong or a Godzilla movie for sure, you definitely need the really strong characters to actually make them stand out quite well. And well, sometimes it actually works well for some of those movies, other times not so much for sure. But I guess for the case of this movie, that's hard to say from what I could gather. Pretty much from what I could gather, I don't hate all these characters for sure. I really do admire, of course, what they've actually done. Hell, I dare even say some of the ones that we got in the previous movie for sure. I really do admire the nice sense of character growth that they actually had for sure since the last time we actually saw them for sure. While other times I just kind of felt the characters almost kind of feel they want to derail the plot from what I could gather, but I really don't think they're that bland from what I can gather. I mean they're not bad characters from what I can gather. I just kind of felt they would have actually done a little something to actually make them all the more interesting from what I could gather. But the ones that we actually do get to know and are surprisingly interesting, I definitely do think they actually get a pretty good pass from what I can gather, and let alone a nice little pearl point on that. So yeah, and of course for the actors that came on board to play all these characters for sure, yeah, I guess there's no doubt in my mind, I really do think they actually gave off some pretty good performances from what I can gather. I mean, okay, it's not really anything that great from what I can gather, but I really do like what they've actually done for the actors for sure. And yeah, they did pull off some pretty good performances, in my opinion, for sure, to really make this movie stand out quite well for sure. So yeah, sometimes it can be a little hit and miss from what I can gather, but I really do think the acting, of course, this film is, of course, something I really do admire for sure. But probably, I think, a really good example on some pretty good performances from what I can gather. Definitely take a look at the scenes involving King Kong for sure. Yeah, literally, of course, for a few good chunks of the movie from what I could gather, they actually did showcase, of course, pretty much a few good aspects of course, King Kong for sure. And of course, when we actually do get to see him, there's actually no dialogue from what I can gather for sure, all of which is actually told from, of course, pretty much the many roars and growls and all sorts of gorilla sounds that he actually makes for sure, let alone his entire facial expressions from what I can gather for sure. That I will have to say is actually brilliantly well done. I really do like what they've actually done to actually make it work, and yeah, pretty much a few good chunks of movies where they have stuff pretty much evolving around pretty much seeing the characters' facial expressions, let alone their body language for sure, all of which done with little to no dialogue whatsoever. I really do love stuff in movies, and I think this movie really did accomplish that quite well, and I think that's actually one of the main reasons I felt the actors' performances are actually really good, in my opinion, for sure. I think this movie really deserves. Yeah, I think it definitely deserves another pearl point on that. So yeah, those are of course what I can say for both the characters and the actors, and of course this movie for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright then, so yeah, now that I've actually got that out of the way, what else is there for me to talk about with, of course, this movie? Quite a whole lot, actually, and trust me, I know I'm gonna pretty much go through every single bit of detail from what I can gather, but that's pretty much the whole point of these thoughts videos for sure. All of which will give you guys some really itty-bitty details with each and every single aspect for sure, without actually going into spoilers for sure. But yeah, I think that's what I can say, of course, that front. So I think we might as well get right on to the hang-up for sure. So So yeah, I guess for starters is of course the visuals and the effects of course this film, and of course, if there's anything that I really do love, and of course any of these MonsterVerse films from Why Can't I Gather, I really do think pretty much the visuals and the effects of course this film pretty much actually works quite well, and I really think it is brilliantly well done to actually look at for sure. Everything from, of course, what I've actually seen visually, it actually is actually brilliantly well done for sure. Not only from the way pretty much Godzilla and King Kong and plenty of the other tiny monsters for sure on how well designed they are, but I really do like the really great sense of world building that they actually give to, of course, the entire world this movie actually takes place in, let alone the entire MonsterVerse in a nutshell for sure. Everything from what I've actually seen, even some nice little details going on through in different realms of course, Hollow Earth. I really do think it actually works quite well in my opinion, and just by seeing it alone, I almost felt like I would actually want to be in this world for sure. Just as long as you don't get squashed like AB tiny little bug for sure. Yeah, that's those are of course pretty much how big we are compared to the monsters and of course this movie for sure. Let alone the entire pretty much MonsterVerse movies for sure. So yeah, those are of course what I can say for of course the visuals and the effects of course this film. I really do admire of course what they've actually done to actually make this movie look great on a visual standpoint. I really think they absolutely nailed it on the head of course this one for sure. Now of course for the others I have to say, that's pretty interesting for me to talk about. Now, I guess if anything, pretty much the action in this film. Yeah, I guess there's no doubt in my mind that the action is actually brilliantly well done for sure. Pretty much everything from, of course, what I've actually seen from, of course, seeing King Kong swinging around, holding his axe and actually fighting off his enemies, to actually Godzilla fighting off different monsters while stomping around the city, destroying stuff in the process, to all of them coming together for one big massive battle for sure. Yeah, I guess there's no doubt in my mind the action of course this film is brilliantly well done for sure. Like of course yeah, I think it would definitely pretty much still get some stuff that kind of derails everything from what I could gather, but if you actually are in the mood to see pretty much see the stuff revolving around the movie monsters, you're definitely getting for sure. And yeah, I guess from the way I've actually seen it, I think they really accomplished that quite well for sure. The action is, of course, brilliantly well done for sure. And yeah, it's actually probably come what you would expect, like in every other movie about a giant monster for sure. So yeah, I really do think this movie brilliantly yeah, I think this movie actually delivered on the action brilliantly well from what I can gather. I really do admire, of course, what they've actually accomplished for sure. So yeah. And, of course, the direction of this film, to which, by the way, they actually brought back the director of the last film, Adam Wingard, to actually direct this film for sure. And, well, compared to, of course, the last film for sure, it's not really anything that great from what I can gather, but it's not terrible either for sure. I mean, I think I know he kind of used up what he actually has done, and of course, the last film he actually directed. While here, I think he actually pretty much wanted to go big, but almost feels like after every shooting day, he kind of feels like, oh my god, I'm so tired, I need a rest. And I think it might have actually showed, and of course, pretty much the direction he's done, and of course, this film from what I could gather. But like I say, it's not terrible from what I could gather, but it's not really anything that great either for sure. So yeah, but I do give mad respects to, of course, Adam Wingard for sure. I think he did whatever he can to actually make this movie stand out quite well for sure. So yeah, and of course the cinematography, the cinematography, of course, this film. Yeah, I will have to say that is brilliantly well done, as it actually provides some really nice camera shots from what I've actually seen that actually makes it all the more great from what I can gather. I really do admire on how well shot this movie is to actually make it really great for sure. So yeah, and of course the editing, I have to say, that too, I have to say, is brilliantly well done, as the film is, of course, cut up perfectly through some really great editing, I have to say, and plus it actually does match up quite well with the film's pacing for sure, which that too is actually brilliantly well done, I will have to admit, and I really do admire, of course, what they've actually accomplished for sure. So yeah. And of course, most importantly, yeah, I think it definitely delivered on what he actually promised for sure. That if we want to see Godzilla and King Kong team up with each other, since after the last film where they had them fight each other for sure, you're definitely getting gagging entirely. And I really do admire, of course, what they've actually done for sure. I mean, okay, I guess it's probably not pretty much a little bit different from what we're actually hoping for, but I think the film really did a great job, of course, accomplishing that front, and they've really built it up quite well over the course of the movie for sure, and yeah, I guess in the end, it actually does deliver quite well, and I really do admire, of course, what they've actually done, so yeah. That's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Okay, so yeah, I guess with all that said and done, that's pretty much everything that I can say for, of course, this movie for sure. So yeah, I guess overall, Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. Yeah, I mean, I guess if anything, it's not really that great from what I can gather, but it's not terrible either. I definitely do think it's actually a pretty decent flick from what I can gather, but there's no doubt in my mind that I actually have myself a pretty good time actually seeing it on the big screen for sure. I mean, it's not really pretty much as fun or exciting as, of course, pretty much like, say, Godzilla 2014, or, of course, Kong Skull Island, or even Godzilla vs. Kong, but it's thankfully not pretty much a weak film, much like Godzilla King of the Monsters for sure. I definitely do think this film is actually a pretty decent one for sure, and I think I know hands down from what I can gather. I think it pretty much, maybe I guess with a little fine-tuning here and there, maybe I think we could have gotten something much more great for sure. But again, it really does deliver on, of course, what it's actually giving us for sure, just having Godzilla and King Kong team up this time around. And I think they really did accomplish that quite well for sure. So yeah, I can't necessarily qualify that as a great film for sure, but like I say, I don't think it's pretty much a bad one either for sure. But for what it is, I did find myself finding this flick to actually be pretty decent for sure. And there's no doubt in my mind that I actually had a really good time actually seeing it for sure. So yeah. I know that's saying a whole lot from what I can gather, but yeah, maybe I guess it might be a way neat, since after all what we got, of course, the previous films in the Monsterverse for sure, and for that, if they ever decide to make another one for sure, I'll be quite curious to see on what other direction they're going to go for sure right before well, pretty much the Monsterverse actually runs dry for sure. But I guess if it is something up your alley and actually want to experience it for yourself, then by all means, go ahead and see it. I think you're going to be in for a good time for sure. I know I dig on my part, so yeah. Not really a great film by all means, but not terrible either. But it is definitely a decent enough flick to check out for sure. And I find myself having a pretty good time actually seeing it for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. So yeah, for my final score, yeah, I'll definitely be nice, of course, on this one. And I'll definitely give this film the same rating as I gave, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, which is a 6.5 out of 10 is my final score. Yeah, like I said, I don't think it's anything that great by all means, but it's not terrible either for sure. I definitely do think it is a decent flick for sure, but there's no doubt in my mind that I actually had a really great time seeing it for sure, So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. If that is something up your alley and actually want to experience for yourself, then, well, get yourself in to, of course, the kind people at Monarch can actually experience Godzilla and King Kong teaming each other up for yourself. So yeah, it's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front. Alright. Alright, so I guess on that thought, they'll pretty much do exactly that. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest Thoughts video, and I want to ask all of you guys, what do you think of Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire, if you've actually seen it? Do you absolutely really enjoyed it and thought it was a really great film, or do you absolutely hate it and think it's among one of the worst out of all these pretty much Godzilla and King Kong movies that we got very recently? Or are you somewhere in between like I thought of for sure? So yeah, let me know in the comment section below on what you thought about this movie for sure. I would definitely love to know on what you guys think for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much everything that I can say, of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest Thoughts video, and yeah, I guess that concludes pretty much on my double feature for sure. Now, will I ever do another one anytime soon? Only time will tell, of course, that front, but moreover, I guess that'll actually do it for the month of March for sure. And I mean, whew, boy, what a busy month it was for me for sure. I mean, with, of course, seeing about 5 movies throughout this month, plus going to Syracuse Collectors Con not too long ago. Yeah. I guess pretty much of anything, this month was really a busy one for sure, and I'll be really quite curious to see on what will be coming my way through for, of course, the month of April for sure. I mean, I know that's saying a whole lot, but maybe I think I'll take the time throughout the month of April to actually slow down a bit before I'll get myself ramped up and actually busy once again for sure. But we'll definitely have to wait and see, of course, that front for sure, because you may never know. So yeah, I guess that's what I can say, of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching, and well, I hope all of you guys had a really great March for sure, and I'll definitely see you all of you guys for April for sure. So yeah, I guess this was a busy month for me, so I'll take most of next month to wind myself down for a bit for sure. So yeah, I guess right up until something else will come up for sure, all I can say for now is thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.
Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/Ackleyattack427TV to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is Ackleyattack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, Ackley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up. Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and playing more in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/AckleyattackTV/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.